This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Gamefly. Go to gamefly.com/TYT for a free trial membership.
Video games, kids got to play 1 hour a day.
That's what they're saying. They're saying
Who's
that you
they?
Well, I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
These people
I
who
rest
think
my case.
that, I don't know, it's going to get them somewhere. But they're saying that kids nowadays are racking up at least 10,000 hours of video game time before they're 21. So a little excessive, if you ask me.
So repeat that stat.
That by the time they turn 21, the average young person is racking up 10,000 hours of video gaming.
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours.
Wow. There's hardly time to masturbate.
That's true.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. Are we not going to tell kids to go outside and play anymore?
How old anymore? You're like what, 23, 20?
22, yeah. And I played outside.
Did you play video games?
I did. I played like those racing games once in a while on my really old PlayStation.
But did your boyfriends, I mean friends who were boys, did they play video games?
Oh yeah, they did all the time.
Really?
They all still do.
Does that turn you on at all?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I don't really get it.
But I did hear there's with a lot like surgeons, doctors and stuff, they're using a lot more of mechanical tools to do surgeries, things that are invasive without cutting things open as much. So then you have to have steady hands, basically like a video game, and then also having like very slow movements with it, which a lot of the games now with the controllers are very sensitive to, like how much you move it will also react with how much. They're basically playing video games when they're doing surgery. It's things like that I think is what maybe they're talking about, because I heard this before.
But I mean, that suggests that we weren't good at surgery before.
Well, it's new surgery. It's like they used to just cut people open and rip them apart and lay
Yeah,
their...
but I mean, they weren't like clownish before. I mean, it's not like the Middle Ages. It's not like 15 years ago we were like,
No, but it's always getting better though, man.
what do I do with the lung? Put it back in. I mean, you know.
I'm going off with somebody that told me that knows this field, man.
I know you with the not knowing who the research is from, and you with that. Somebody told me that.
I'm not going to reveal their name, but they told me specifically. That was insane. It's direct. I'm telling you what happens, man.
I don't know.
But they're already playing like hours upon hours of video games as it is. So I think that just by coming out and saying, oh yeah, just keep alienating your friends, your schoolwork, your family, stay inside, play more video games, and you're going to have a lot of money when you grow up.
All right, so this is a woman
stupid.
named Jane McGonigal, and she's an author. Her book is called Reality is Broken, and she says the single biggest misconception about games is that they're an escapist waste of time. More than a decade's worth of scientific research shows that gaming is actually one of the most productive ways we can spend time. Not helping the GDP, our traditional measure of productivity, but games help produce something much more important than the economic bottom line, JR, is what you're pointing out. Powerful emotions and social relationships that can change our lives and potentially help us change the world. She says, according to her research, it's because games do a better job than ordinary life of provoking our most powerful positive emotions, curiosity, optimism, pride, and a desire to join forces with others to achieve something extraordinary. Also, games increasingly are a particularly effective way to bond with families and friends. So, I buy that, because if games aren't you sitting in your basement by yourself, like I get that now this sort of online world where you're putting the headset on and you and your lame friends are going off together and sort of killing the Zorksters, in Moldone, like Jesus does. That's probably.
Hell yeah, motherfucker!
What
I do.
Like, what do you play? Like Resident Evil or something?
No, that's too scary for me. I do more Modern Warfare sports game.
But I guess, you do, like, this is now done with other people, right? More too, right? What's that game? That looks radically cool.
This is Call of Duty.
Call of Duty's awesome. I like Call of Duty when
Who doesn't want to kill Nazis?
Totally. Like
fucking crazy Russians who have the nuke every time for whatever reason. That's always the storyline. The nukes, the Russians have the bomb, and you got to kill the Russians.
And that's set like in the Cold War, right?
Yeah. No, this is in the modern times. The Russians always get the war,
Oh, right.
They always get it.
But you can still kill Nazis.
Damn commies.
Right. You can still kill Nazis in World War II, right?
Yeah.
That's what I like to do.
Oh shit! That guy's got a ball. What are we gonna do?
By the way, I changed everything. This is awesome. It doesn't matter whether it helps. First of
Oh,
all, there's no way
geez.
that if I'm doing this, I'm not having a way more productive life. I'm not sitting here with you clowns. I'm fucking fixing somebody's heart.
But no, but the study says that if you hit 28
Shut up, Jackie,
hours,
I'm playing.
Fine. Fine, Ben.
Did that guy get to the top? What the fuck happened?
Almost.
No,
Oh, they're okay.
He's gonna get killed by
Oh,
a
where's
red
he going? No!
Fuck.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, all right, Jesus. Okay.
I'm so glad I'm a girl.
Oh,
Okay, but do you know if you're playing Call of Duty for 28 hours a week, then it starts to become a negative impact on your life. Because then you'll start experiencing things like depression and social anxiety. Have you ever seen these kids that are like really good at Call of Duty? They probably don't know how to like interact with people in their own grade.
You know
yeah,
what?
Sure.
They don't know
You
how
don't-
to do that, but they know how to use thermoscope guns. Do you know how to use it?
Yeah.
This is why our relationship is strained, Jesus. This is why.
By the way, when I played Call of Duty, or maybe I played, what's the other one? What's the other one called?
What do you mean? There's only one Call of Duty.
But I thought there was like another one. Anyway, when I was killing Nazis, the first one I played, and I played it on my PC.
World at War or something like
Yeah, something like that. Whatever. I couldn't. I was like at stage 1, and I couldn't jump, and I couldn't get over the fence. Like I was literally in the field, I couldn't get over the fence. So I was like, so my guy would like run, right? And he's like, and he'd get to the fence. I just didn't know how to do it. Like you had to hit like, function control D or whatever. And so my guy would come and he just kept getting there, and I'd be like, and I couldn't fucking get out of the fence in this little yard, and there were like cows walking around, and the Nazis were amassing at the border. Yeah, I don't know. And I didn't know you could like go online to look up how to get out of the fence. So I stopped playing.
So you're becoming really successful at life then, Ben,
Totally,
right?
Cenk, people don't know this about me, but I'm an underground gamer.
You are.
I love to play video games.
Well,
but
then you're going to love our new sponsor, Gamefly. They're the largest online video game rental service in the world. 7,000 titles, new and classic. Also, no late fees, no due dates. Shipping's always free.
go to gamefly.com/TYT for a free trial membership.